8th, because it's not a leap year. Arnold Classic, talking about the open men, Arnold Classic is happening this Friday night, judging this Saturday night finals. Everybody's out there making predictions. People like me, Trigilli, Palumbo, the usual suspects. What about you, the fans? What about you, the people who really make this sport? Without your support, there would be no sport of bodybuilding. These bodybuilders would have no stages to compete on, no sponsorships to put these shows on, nothing. So I want to know what you guys have. Give me your top 5. Put it right here in the chat. Type it out. I have a tough time with this top 5. I do, personally, just because there's so many X factors, so many what ifs. I have Brandon Curry winning. I don't think that's too bold a prediction at all. The guy was Mr. Olympia. He's been second place only to Big Ramy the past 2 years at the Olympia. He's an Arnold Classic champ. But, on paper, he's the top-ranked bodybuilder in the world in this show. The only other person on paper with a rank higher is obviously Big Ramy, and he's not in this. So that's when it starts to get interesting. Could second place be this new guy, Brett Wilkin? He's looking crazy. Could it be William Bonac, who's won this twice, who's been second at the Olympia? Could it be Steve Kuklo, who was third place just a few months ago at this show? Justin Rodriguez is looking crazy right now. Justin, I think he could definitely be in the top 5, will be in the top 5. Regan Grimes, you guys, if you follow his Insta or Milos's, you've seen the pictures of Regan. Regan already had the aesthetics. Now he's got the condition with this fullness. Samson Dowda from the UK, you can't write him off at all. Max Charles could surprise us. Fabio Giga. If you're from Brazil, I bet you definitely have Fabio in your top 5, and as you should, you loyal fans. There's no right or wrong answers here, guys. The show hasn't happened yet. We don't know what these guys are going to look like exactly. Who's going to peak 100%? It's all going to come down to that. It's going to be a tough show to judge. There are only 9 guys in this show, which means more than half of the lineup will be in the top 5. So I would hate to be out of the top 5 or out of the top 6 because, yeah, it'd be rough. So let me see if you guys have anything to say yet. Let's see. Live chat. Let's go. Full screen. Expand. Yes. Okay. Sound is good today. It's I got a 13. I finally broke down, got a new phone. Just to let you know, guys, I will be up front taking photos for the play-by-play on musculardevelopment.com. And you can say, well, big deal. We're going to get the pay-per-view and this and that. But we do have high-resolution pictures being taken by Jason Breeze, awesome legend in the bodybuilding photography world from Canada. Those will take a few hours, a couple hours at least, to upload and get on our site, the contest gallery. My pictures go up in the play-by-play thread, like immediately. We have some people behind the scenes with MD that are helping me upload those. So I just sit there, and now that I've got this 13 Pro with the telephoto lens, I'm really excited about the quality of photos I can get for you guys. So musculardevelopment.com, Friday and Saturday, the thread called 2022 Arnold Classic play-by-play will be up. All kinds of photos. So Brett looking insane says, Seki 2, 1944. Yeah. Okay, so the first top 5 prediction comes to us from Arstov, Brandon, Brett, William, Steve Kuklo, Samson D. Very, very close to, like, in my mind, the way it's probably going to go down. The only thing that I wonder is I think Justin Rodriguez has a really good chance of getting that top 5, but which one of those guys has to be knocked out of the top 5 for him to get in? I don't know. Dale Wilson. Let's see. 1, Curry. Okay, we're all in agreement on that. Brett Wilkin. Okay, a lot of you guys have Brett in second, it seems. Regan, 3. That'd be, dude. Regan has never placed high at a show like this. He's won shows, over in places like Romania, Prague, whatever, Egypt most recently. He's never won a show on U.S. soil. He's never won a big show. He's never placed top 5 or top 6 in Arnold Classic or in Olympia. When I say Arnold Classic, I'm talking about the Columbus Arnold Classic, not some of these Arnold Classics have been held internationally. You only had a few guys in them, and the quality wasn't very good. So I don't really count those. When I say Arnold Classic, I mean the Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio. All right, so let me continue. Dale Wilson, Curry, Brett, Regan, Steve Kuklo, 5, Justin. Okay, 6, Bonac. The Bonac might surprise us. I interviewed him, and that'll be put up, I think, tomorrow morning right here on this channel. He didn't have a coach for a while. He was working with himself basically, and he's bouncing ideas off people. He's the past 5 weeks, Bonac has been working with Chad Nichols. Chad is, of course, Big Rami's coach. He was Ronnie Coleman's coach. I think he can bring him in at least fuller, because at the last Olympia, William was flat to me. He did not have that full pop that he usually has. Okay, good job, Dale. Andre, Brandon, Brett. Wow, a lot of guys have Brett in second. Justin, okay. There's Justin. There you go, Justin. Third place. That would be awesome for him. Steve, Kuklo, William Bonac. All right. Harry Balls, not Harry, but they're Harry. His name is Harry Balls. Awesome name, Harry. Jay. Who's Jay? Who you got? We don't have a Jay. Do you mean Justin? Jay, Brett, Hottie. What? Hottie's not in the show. And I don't know what Jay you're talking about. Steve. Come on, dude. All right. So, Harry, I don't know if you're, what happened there. So we are going to have to discount your top 5. You have a couple people that aren't in the show. They got to be in the show. Zijemi. Oh, boy. Dlachwili. I tried with that name, guy. I'm sorry. Hello. I think my top 3. Okay. Top 3. 1, Bonac. 2, Curry. 3, I don't know. Yeah. For me, it's 1, Curry, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. I want to see. But that's the first prediction of someone other than Brandon Curry winning this. Zijemi has William Bonac winning. Stranger things have happened, guys. Stranger things have happened in this sport. That would be an amazing upset, and it would be a huge feather in the cap for William Bonac to beat the heavy favorite and former Mr. Olympia, Brandon Curry, at this show. Michael Voldemariam. I agree with Stav, but I got Justin in 4th. Yeah. I really think Justin's got an excellent chance of being top 5. He was 4th last year, wasn't he? I say last year. It was only like 6 months ago. Victor says Curry, Wilkin, Kuklo, Justin, Sampson. Yeah. So that leaves out Regan out of the top 5, which Milos would not be happy to hear you say that. But we'll see. Like I said, it can go so many different ways, guys. AJ Home Gym, I think it's going to be what the judges are looking for, because it's going to be that good. People say that, but you know what? The judging standards, they don't really change. It's not like the judges have a meeting and say, all right, guys, listen. This time we're going to go for size. And the next show, all right, guys, for this time size, yeah, but I want condition. So they don't do that. They look for the best total package. Some judges are obviously more biased towards certain attributes. They do tend to favor more massive bodybuilders, and other judges would be more inclined to reward extreme condition. Others are more fans of shape and aesthetics. That's why it's good that we have a whole panel of judges and the high and low scores are thrown out. Jazz Dice, your thoughts on Boston Lloyd? I did a whole video on this channel a couple days ago, the day he died, unfortunately, talking about it. It's a very, very sad situation. He was a young guy, 29. That's all I have to say. It's a tragedy. I knew him. He was a good guy with a big heart, generous, honest. He had a lot of integrity. He didn't talk about people behind his back. If he had a problem with you, he would post it. He would say it out in front. He didn't go behind your back to talk about you. He would say it right to your face, or online, whatever, but the same thing. So he was a rare individual. God bless his soul. God bless, that just happened to be the next person. Big Rami, Big Lenny, Brett Wilkin. Now, Big Lenny is not a pro. Big Lenny. For those of you who don't know Big Lenny, this was one of the Delray Misfits. Jason Genova. I don't know what happened to all that. That sort of just died off. I mean, they had a hell of a run, though, didn't they? Genova had a great run of a few years where he was really popular on YouTube. Martin Helleman. Brandon. Steve. Steve, you're going to be happy to hear that. I did interview Steve. We're going to have that up the next couple days, too, on this channel, Kuklo. He's feeling really good. So Martin Helleman has Brandon, Steve, Bonac, Wilkin, Justin, Dowda, Regan. How many is that? Brandon, Steve, Bonac, Wilkin, Justin, Dowda, Regan. So you just named 7 people. So you left out Max and Fabio. So that would be your bottom 2, which could happen. We'll see. Romaine M, 1 Brandon, 2 Brett. Huge consensus on the top 2 here, huh? A lot of you guys are in agreement on that. Brandon, where am I? That was Joseph. Okay, so Brandon, oh wait. Yeah, Romaine had Brandon, Brett, Justin, William, Steve, Samson. Yeah, Samson's damn good. You know, we did an Arnold preview that'll also be up in the next couple days. It was myself, Jose Raymond, and Giles Thomas. And Samson's looking crazy. The only thing that might hold him back is his back is not quite as thick as it needs to be yet to match the rest of him. But you know what? He's got a hell of a physique. We'll see what happens. It's not a back contest. It's a total physique, total package contest. God bless. Comes back again with Brandon, William, yeah, Samson, Brett. So if you remember in 2019, the top two was Brandon and William Bonac. And it ended up being the same top two at the Olympia that year. It was Brandon won the Olympia, Bonac was second. So I would not be the least bit surprised if William Bonac comes in second. Not surprised at all. He has been not looking his best the last couple shows, but I think he might pull it off this time. So Jose E. Cisneros Jr., Regan, wow, Regan Grimes is the winner. Okay, stranger things have happened, guys, in this wide world of sports. Brandon second, 3 William, 4 Steve, 5 Brett, Johnny. Now we're off topic. Boston and Derek Anthony are trolling and sticking their tongue out in heaven right now. Well, trolling would be like maybe they faked their deaths, and they did not do that. Unfortunately, they have passed away. Dylan Harvey, does the winner of Arnold Amateur get to compete with pros? Andrew Jack looking crazy. So Dylan, the way they've always, the procedure for that has always been that the Arnold Amateur winner is invited the following year to compete in the Arnold Classic. I remember Rolly Winkler did that. Rolly won the Arnold Amateur, and then the next year, I think he was like 5th or 6th at the Arnold. A lot of people are asking, why can't they just let them into the show immediately, as we see that in a lot of other shows. Like I've been to the Toronto Pro a couple times where the amateur winner turned pro and then was in the show, I think even the same day, and a couple of them did really well, like Joe Seaman from Canada, they're all from Canada, obviously. He was like 4th place in the Toronto Pro, I think a day after, or maybe the same day he turned pro. And the young guy from Canada, what's his name? Big kid, Robin Strand, same thing. He ended up, I think he got like 5th or 6th. I think he was like 6th place. Same thing. So, yeah, that'd be great if they did allow the Andrew Jack or whoever wins Arnold Amateur to go into it. Fabio Giga, who's in this show, that's how he was invited. He was a previous Arnold Amateur winner. He won it in 2020, but they did not have an Arnold Amateur in 2021. Anyway, I guess he could have competed in that, but he chose to hold off a year. It's going to be a great show. I lost him. I'm losing back. Boston, Derek Anthony. Ron, can you say, SJW, Ron, can you say happy birthday to my man, Paul Mycock? You mean Paul Mike? Is this a joke? Paul Mike. It should be Paul, not Paul. Happy birthday, Paul. Dylan Harvey, does the winner of Arnold Amateur get to compete with pros? Andrew Jack looking crazy. Oh, yeah, I just answered that. Yeah, so they are invited the next year, but maybe that'll change. So I don't think it'll change this time. Maybe it will, but I would love to see the amateur winner in the show that year. They're already in shape. They're already in Columbus. How exciting would that be for someone who just turned pro? And if they could actually do well and compare with the top pros at the Arnold Classic, that'd be a great omen for their future in the sport, don't you think? Martin Helleman, if some font dials in right, Regan could get in the top 4. Regan is looking really full in condition. Yeah, I would not write Regan off for a minute. Regan hasn't, like I said, he hasn't done well at this level, but Regan has got a different look to him now. It's a different physique. He's really filling out. I mean, he's only been with Milos since the Olympia, which was October. And you saw what they did for the Legion Sports, which was just 2 weeks later. It was only a few pounds, but he looked so much better. And then he won another pro show. Jimmy Jaguli, what is your prediction who will win this? Brandon Curry. That's my prediction. That's easy. Vegar Selyenis, his top 5 is Curry, Wilkin, Kukla, Dauda, Bonac, Grimes, Rodriguez, top 6. Yeah, I mean, I'm torn with Grimes and Rodriguez. I mean, Grimes, I love Grimes' physique. Justin's got a crazy physique too. I don't know what's going to happen with those two. I need to see those two compared. They've never stood next to each other as far as I know. Ching's going to be a great show. Classic is stacked too. Yeah, Classic. God, I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I didn't even bother to talk about Classic because I mean, Terrence Ruffin's a heavy favorite. He's the defending champ. He's been the Olympia runner-up last year to Bumstead, but man, you got some Kalachinsky's looking crazy. Breon Ansley's looking nuts, the former champ and the former two-time Olympia. Ramondino, my God, this kid looks amazing right now from Brazil. Ramon Rocha Queiroz, a.k.a. Ramondino. Andrew Jack is not competition. This might be the year. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just speculating. Maybe this is the year where they change the policy and they let the Arnold Amateur winner, because Arnold Amateur is wrapped up by Friday at like 4. It's all over. That would give Andrew time to compete that night, a few hours later. Maybe this is the year they change it and let them in that year, that same weekend, which I think would be so much more exciting because you lose a lot of momentum. It's like a year later, and say Andrew wins this, he turns pro. That's awesome. It's kind of like not as cool if we have to wait a year to see him on this stage. Like, because he might have already entered a couple other shows by that point. Get him on stage right away. Let's see what happens, guys. Andre, do you think? Did I lose it? Where is it? That's a problem with scrolling. Ah, here we go. Andre, do you think if Brandon would come at the Olympia like at the Arnold 2019, would have a better chance to beat Rami? I mean, he came so full at the Olympia to match Rami. Yeah, I mean, Brandon has beaten Rami many times in the past. Go check the contest records of both guys. It's not like Rami's dominant in that way. All these top guys have beaten him at one point or another, and he hasn't really improved since then. I think Rami's looked like Big Rami for a very long time now. So I could see Curry getting his title back this year. I don't think it's out of the question at all. I could also see Rami winning again. It could go that way. Yeah. But I do think a fuller Curry stands a better chance. A bigger, rounder, fuller stands a better chance of beating Rami than a more streamlined, more conditioned. Because condition is not Rami's strong point. Rami's strong point is just that mass, and he's got good balance. You know, I wouldn't say he has no weak body parts, but for a guy that's 300 pounds on stage, pretty good balance and pretty good condition. It's never been the kind of condition I would hope to see, but you know what? I'm a snob like that with condition. Let's see, Dylan Harvey. Okay, shame that. I think Andrew Jack would ruffle some feathers in pro show if he wins, but time will tell. I'm interested to see him. I hope. The thing is, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to see him because the judging for several divisions, pro divisions Friday is happening on the expo stage at the same time. The finals for the Arnold Amateur are happening on the Battelle Grand stage upstairs, which is a good 20-minute walk away, at least. I mean, with the expo being crowded again, we have an expo again. I don't know. So I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I really want to see this guy on stage. I got Big Lenny winning. John Ad, Brett winning. Y'all be shocked when you see him. He's more complete than Brandon. He will win the side shots and expose Brandon's legs. I love Brett's physique. I think he's amazing. I think he's getting better every day. The only reason I still would have Brandon winning is Brandon's got this beautiful shape to him. It's just beautiful. Everything's round and full. Look at Brandon Curry's Instagram today. He posted a picture that was like a silhouette. You know, when they come out at the Olympia, a lot of times it's just you see the silhouette with some like smoke rising and they're backlit. You just see the shape. Brandon, it looks like Photoshop. It looks like something a Marvel Comics artist would have came up with, but that's his actual shape, just perfectly round, and everything looks he reminds me so much of Flex Wheeler in that shot. It's not a shot, he's walking. Yeah, Brett, if Brett wins, man, God bless him. That would be for Brett, if he could beat a Mr. Olympia and an Arnold Classic champ who was the heavy favorite, the guy that's only been beaten the last couple of years by Rami. That's the only guy that's beaten him for the past couple of years now. Dude, Brett's stock would go through the freaking roof. Classic predictions? We're not going there because I don't know. I think Terrence is the heavy favorite. I think Terrence is probably going to win, but I would not be surprised. Breon could get it, but I'm really looking at Urs Kalachinsky, the Miracle Bear, the young guy from Germany. And I'm looking at Ramondino from Brazil. He's looking nuts, and just what a physique on that guy. And as Jose said in the predictions, man, he's got such thin skin, such a small waist. It's nuts. Let's see, Classic Bruce. Ha ha ha. What's up? Is Mike Ox Small competing? Who's that? Is Jason Genoa competing? Does anybody know what happened to Jason? I haven't heard a thing about him. I hope he's okay. He's got to be like 34, 35 by now. He's got to be, right? I don't know what happened to Jason. He sort of fell off the face of the earth. Like he had a hell of a run. He had his 15 minutes of fame and then some. But anyway, enough talk about that. Hello, bro. Victor, if Andrew Jack smokes the amateur competition as predicted, what's your thoughts about his rookie season as a pro? I need to see Andrew on stage in trunks. You guys, you can't go by these progress pictures. We love them because it's exciting. It's cool to see how good the guys are looking leading up to the show, but none of it translates 100% to what you're going to see on stage with the tan, with the water out, with the bright, bright lights. It's very, very different. And we've never seen Andrew stand next to anyone at this caliber, even another pro. Yeah, and maybe like in the stand next to him taking a picture in the gym or something. But on stage, we've never seen him. I don't know. I don't know exactly what his physique looks like because I've never seen that complete version of it. I'd be very interested to find out. Alberto Montejo, jacked first tall guy that has a shot in IFBB in a while. Yeah, Andrew, he's 6'2". Yeah, the sweet spot for bodybuilding height seems to be 5'8" to 5'11". Seems to be. Most of the champions are right in there. Most Mr. Olympias, most national champions, USA, you name it. Most top pros. You don't see a whole lot of open pros under 5'8" doing well. You don't see a whole lot of open pros over 5'11" doing well. So yeah, I mean, then you have Jamie Christian, Jamie the Giant in the UK is 6'5". Wow. Well, yeah, because you said he's the first one, but Jamie actually has placed. He had a couple good placings last year. He's working with Milos. He's really filling out a lot too. The skull behind me, Harry. That was just a mask that I wore last Halloween, and I just keep it there. It doesn't have any significance or anything. I love Halloween. I mean, can you tell by all the horror tattoos? I love Halloween. I love horror. Why Walker isn't competing again? We actually, we interviewed Kevin and I. Kevin did most of the interview. We interviewed him on this channel recently. I think he wanted to do it, but the timing really wasn't right. He really needed a break. I forget exactly what he said. You can go back and look at it, but I'm glad he didn't do it. He did so many shows back to back. He had very little break, Nick. He won North American in, I think it was early September of 2020. 6 weeks later, he's on stage at the Chicago Pro, 4th place. Has a couple months, less than 3 months, and he starts prep for the New York Pro, wins that. Then he goes back into prep for Arnold Classic in September, wins that, places 5th at the Olympia. So it was a lot of dieting, a lot of prep. I think his body needs a break. He needs time to grow. You see how big the kid is now. He's just under 300 pounds. Hard, with abs, with separation and everything. Let's see, hairy balls, don't worry about it. It's from homicide he committed. I've never committed a homicide. Why would Nick Walker compete again? He won last year. He actually said he wanted to. He would have liked to have back-to-back Arnold titles. There's a few people have done that. Jay Cutler had back-to-back Arnold titles. Dexter, I think. Flex Wheeler. It's pretty cool to say you know back. Even Branch Warren had back-to-back. I think it's a cool thing. Plus, they just bumped up the prize money. So first place is $200 grand, and why not pick up $200 grand if you can? Why not? Andre Akirale. How do you think Andrew Jack will do in the amateur? Right now everyone says he's a clear winner, but we don't know who he's up against. We have no idea. Arnold Amateur is a very tough show. I've watched it in its entirety a couple times. A few years ago, Giles Thomas from the UK, we covered it. We sat there and watched all the divisions, did play-by-play, and the quality of competitors at the Arnold Amateur is astonishing because you have a lot of people in that show who have earned pro status but declined it. They stayed amateurs. So I saw a lot of people from places like Korea, China, Southeast Asia, Middle East, South America, people that were pro caliber, but they hadn't taken their pro cards, or maybe they missed it by like a point or something. It's an international competition. It's on the caliber of what we used to call the Universe or the IPB World Amateurs. It's very, very similar caliber. It's the best, the best middleweights from 20 different countries, 30 different countries, the best light heavies from 20 or 30 different countries. It's a great show. So I don't know who else will be in the super heavies with Andrew. He might just blow that show away. He might have a tough time. He might get beaten by some other crazy freak that we don't even know about yet. There are people out there. There are people out there that I know with Instagram and everything, there's not too many surprises because most people that have these awesome physiques, they're on Instagram. We know who they are. We've seen them. But there are still people out there that aren't like into the social media and they have great physiques. Sometimes they show up at these contests. And I've seen even some pro shows where I didn't know who the hell these people were. And they ended up winning their division. It wasn't always the open. Sometimes it was classic. He's in death row. What? Me? Death row? No. Bo True. Jason Genova is the leader of the Aryan Brotherhood. Oh, no. He's being framed. As far as I know, Jason Genova is not imprisoned. Have you met Tony Huge? No, I have not. You are best in chat, bro. Thank you. Zlimmies, you're in good shape. Thank you. R.I.P. Boston Lloyd. Yeah. You met Tony Huge, Bo? Yeah, he seems like he's got a great personality and everything. I don't like the cavalier, that attitude that like, take all the drugs you want. It's not going to hurt you. It does hurt you. All of us who use drugs, and I'm including myself, I use PEDs. We're all taking a risk, all of us. And the more you use, the longer you stay on them, the more different weird drugs that you take that aren't even, there's no evidence, there's no history. At least with steroids, they've been around a very, very long time. Things like Test, Deca, Winstrol, they've been around for decades and decades. We know what happens in the long run with those, but some of these weird peptides, some of these weird things that guys are shooting into their bodies and popping pills of, I don't know what's going to happen, guys. I hope you'll all be okay, but sneaking suspicion, a lot of people are going to get really messed up from all these weird new peptides and things. Victor, could Evan Centopani make a last-minute entry to the Arnold Classic? Nobody can make a last-minute entry to the Arnold Classic. Open, all the other shows are like that. Aside from the Arnold, which is invitation only, you have to be invited, and they do that way back 3 months before the show. They don't take last-minute entries. The Olympia, you have to qualify for. So other shows, if we were talking about the New York Pro or the Chicago Pro or the Indy Pro, any shows like that, Evan could jump into like 2 days before the show if he called up the promoter and said, hey, Tim Gardner, I want to be on that stage in Tampa. Tim would be like, let's go, come on. But the Arnold, it's not like that. They set it up, they have promotional materials, they make a program, it's like a little book with all the like bios of the guys. There's too much that goes into it, travel arrangements, hotel. So they don't do any last minute for the Arnold. It's just not something they do. He seems to be in great shape. It'll be a good addition after I'll drop out. Evan looks awesome. Evan, we interviewed on this channel a couple weeks ago, and upper body is pretty much as good as it's ever been. He knows his legs are down. He's had injuries. His legs are not where he would want them to be if he got on stage again. So he's not going to get on stage again until his legs look the way they want. And if they don't, we're never going to see him on stage again, which is okay. Evan had a good run. He's a hell of a guy. He's very popular. He's educational. He helps people with his videos, puts out a lot of good info. So if he never competes again, it's okay. He's just as valuable off stage as he was on, if not more so. Bo True, I know I am. Oh, okay. He's talking to someone else. Sucks what's happening, Aaron. Best bodybuilding gym have you been to? I've been to a few that were really cool. I'll give you the top few in no particular. Gold's Venice, where I trained. I was a member there for a year, and then I would go back. I lived in California for 10 years in the 90s. So Gold's Venice was my gym for about a year, and then I moved a little further away. Went to gyms in Pasadena area. Anyway, Gold's Venice, still a really good gym. Metroflex in Dallas, Texas. Now, mind you, there's other gyms you guys are going to mention I've never been to, so I can't say, like the Better Bodies gym in Dallas, I've never been. Armbrust Pro, never been there. The ones I've been to, the best ones. So Bevan Steve's Powerhouse Gym in Syosset, New York on Long Island. Super gym. The Montanari Brothers Powerhouse Gym where Evan trains in New Haven, Connecticut. Awesome gym. I liked the new Redcon gym in Nashville is incredible. So just the equipment. It's got the largest collection of Panada gym equipment outside of Europe. And those are very expensive pieces of equipment. Anyway, that gym. I liked Ben Pekulski's MI 40 gym in Tampa. I went there once. Where else? Yeah, those would be my top ones. I'm sure. Yeah, I'd love to go to Oxygen Gym Kuwait. I mean, it looks fantastic. It looks enormous, the best equipment ever. But it's in Kuwait. I've never been anywhere near that part of the world. I'm willing to go. So, Bader, if you want to fly me over, I'll go. I'm busting beans. Tony Hughes is a nice guy. He's a lawyer, though. Enough said. Well, I don't think he's practiced law in quite a long time. Again, I think I'm sure I'd get along fine with Tony. I'm sure we'd get along famously. I just don't like that message of reckless drug use. I just don't. And I don't want to be a hypocrite. I'm not being hypocritical because I take drugs. And if I don't have a problem with other people using drugs, but in moderation, watching their health markers, not doing crazy doses. There's no reason to be doing these super high doses. They don't do much more than a moderate dose. 10 grams is not twice as good as 5 grams. 5 grams is not 50% better. Twice as good as 2.5 grams. You get my point. Math is not my thing. Joe Toth, I see a skull scar. It's just a mask. It's my Halloween mask. Should I take it down? Thoughts on Flex Lewis in the Open this year? I don't think he's going to do any worse than. Okay, get ready, guys. Some people are going to go, I'm on crack. 3rd place at worst. That's the worst I have Flex Lewis. Maybe 4th. I don't know. But Flex is going to beat a lot of these guys that have been, in the top 5. I see a skull, sir. Thoughts on Antoine Vallant health? I hope Antoine is going to be around and healthy for many more years. I love him. He's got a great personality. He's funny. He's humble. He's down to earth. He's an open book. He shares all his ups, his downs. Doesn't try to portray this false persona. He admits he's a flawed human being, as we all are. He's had his struggles with addiction, like a lot of us have. A lot of you watching this, you know what it's like. And I hope he's okay. I hope that if he goes back into competition, that he's doing so safely and he's not going to further impair his heart function or anything like that. I would hate to lose Antoine. I don't want to lose anybody. I have so much admiration and respect. We're all a big family, whether we can talk shit about each other and this and that. But in the end, guys, we're like this percent of the population, bodybuilders. And if you talk about like competitive bodybuilders, pro bodybuilders, make it even smaller. We're outcasts. We're pariahs as it is. So I consider us all one big dysfunctional family. We're all brothers and sisters, whether you like it or not. But you know what? Families don't all get along, do they? They sure don't. So let's see. Edgar Calderon, do I think Hunter Labrada can keep his top 4 place in the O? It all depends. You can't predict who's going to place where. It's impossible. At that level, the guys are all so good. It's like anyone's show on any given day. It's who comes in with that something extra that day can move ahead of other people. Hunter's got a fantastic physique. I love Hunter's physique. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, some people think Nick Walker can win the Olympia. I've seen stranger things happen. I've been, 1991. So, man, I've been to almost 30 Olympias. My God, it's been a long time. Bo True, I just got my blood drawn today. I did some D-ball. I'm on a cycle of tested primo. My blood pressure shot up to 175 or 115. Yikes. Yikes is right. That's pretty freaking high, dude. You might want to lay off the D-ball. I think that would be from the Dianabol. The Dianabol causes a lot of water retention, and water retention, edema, skyrockets your blood pressure. So be careful, guys. Please be careful. Especially with the orals. I've heard a lot of recommendations from people who really know their shit about just stay away from orals. We like orals because they work so fast. They get in your system right away. You could pop a couple D-ball today. You'll probably start feeling something tomorrow. Whereas you do a shot of testananthate and a shot of Deca, if you look at your watch, you're like, when's this going to start working? It could be a good 2 or 3 weeks before you really notice a difference in the way you look and feel. But man, these orals, most of them, things like D-ball and Anadrol, they cause so much water retention that they destroy it. Your blood pressure goes up, and eventually, especially with like Anadrol, your appetite goes to shit. Anyway, let's see, we're almost done. It's dark, 7:40. I need to see Regan stand next to Brett. I think that'll be a fair comparison. Oh, absolutely. I think they're going to get a good look. You know, it sucks that 5 guys dropped out of the show and we're down to 9. But one good aspect, one silver lining to that is everyone's going to get a really good look. It's not like anyone's going to get lost in the shuffle, overlooked, ignored. There's only 9 guys. A call-out typically has 5 guys, typically. So there's only 9 guys. There should only be 2 call-outs. No one's going to be third call-out. There'll be first call-out, which will be Brandon and a couple other guys. 3 or 4 other guys. Maybe they'll do 4. And then there'll be a second call-out for the people that the head judge or whatever, don't feel are quite as competitive as that first group. Yeah, orals are known to raise blood pressure, get that regulated. Yeah, I would just, if that's the case, that's why I don't think it's that valuable for people to share their cycles. I know a lot of you guys, you want to know the pros' cycles, but some people will react very differently and very poorly to certain drugs. Certain people take Tren and their blood work goes to shit like within a week. Like I know a guy who took his 50s. He started Tren because he was always curious about it, and like his blood work, he had blood work done like 3 weeks later. His doctor said, "Whatever you're doing, you better stop." And he showed him all these numbers. So that's why I don't think it's that valuable to know what other people use, because it might not be a good idea. It might be great. You might copy their cycle and it works great for you. Could give you a lot of serious problems, if not just side effects. You don't want to get, even if you're not risking your life per se at that moment, do you want to get a bunch of acne and gyno and indigestion and shit like that? Grave robber, no. Andre, last name pronounced Accarelli? Okay. Do you know if the Arnold Classic is the only invitational in the IFBB? And who makes the choices for the athletes chosen? Is it Arnold, Jim Mannion, other people? It is the only invitational. There's a committee. I don't know who's on the committee. In the past, they used to send out a questionnaire to a lot of the industry people asking our opinions. I filled it out a couple times. It was a list, and you had to check off definitely invite, maybe invite, something like that. Definitely don't, something like that. And you would rate them as to how strongly you felt this person should be in the Arnold Classic. And I don't know if they were just getting our opinions or if that actually had any true weight toward who got into the show. I don't know if it did, but I don't know how it's picked now. But yeah, it is. There's a group of people. I imagine it's Arnold and a few other people decide who they want in the show. Probably based on just appeal. They want the best people possible. They invite all the top Olympians. Of course, a lot of them like Rami and Hadi, they're just focusing on Olympia, or Nick Walker, wherever. They'll invite these people, and a lot of them will just decline the offer. And they take applications. You can apply as an IFBB pro. Say, I'd like to be in the show. So, at some point in early December, they have all these people that they invited. Some of them have said yes. Those people are in the show. Some of them have said no thanks. They're not in the show. And they limit it. They cap it off to, it's always been between 12 and 15 guys. The Arnold has never had more than 15 people in the lineup. So it's a process. Oh, true. Doc prescribed Linsinpril. I have some LASIK too. Great. LASIK is eye surgery. You're thinking of LASIKs. Victor, Ron, do you think we'll ever see Phil on stage again? If we do, I don't think it's going to be the Olympia. I think if we see Phil Heath again, it would probably be on Athleticon stage. He's got the same manager as Dwayne Johnson, which is his wife, Danny Garcia. Ex-wife, Danny Garcia, ex-wife. I think he might come back next year when they put that show on. I don't see Phil, because he's been sliding down at the Olympia a little bit. I don't think he would have to be like 120% to beat Rami at this point, because they're all going to be, second he comes out, it's all going to be on his belly. What's his midsection? What's his gut? If his belly sticks out like a half inch for 1 second, everyone's going to be like, bubble gut, screw it, he's last place. You know, he's in a tough spot now. They're very critical of him. Ruben von Verdi says, hi Ron, you may know why Arnold Classic doesn't have a 212 category. I don't know the exact reason. I just have my speculations. So the 212 was only around for, Flex Lewis won the first one. We had Hide, Jose, Kamal was the last winner. There's a couple others. I want to say there was only like 6 or 7. They weren't getting the quality, the caliber. They didn't get as many top Olympia guys in it. I honestly don't know why they got rid of it. I don't understand. If you're going to add, they've added several categories since then that didn't even exist. Like wellness is in there now. So it seems kind of odd to me that they don't. I hope they bring it back at some point in the future, but I don't know. We haven't had it now since, I think 2018 was the last year we had 212. So I don't think it's coming back, unfortunately. Bo True again. Bo's talking about his water retention. Look at the Michelin Man. You weighed 294 today at the dock, so no. I mean, that's very heavy. Unless you're like 6'8", that's a lot of weight to be carrying. Did you know PJ Braun, Johnny? I know him. I know him to say hi. I can't say I'm close with him at all. No. You say did. He's still alive. He's just in prison. He's still with us. He'll be out of jail eventually and back, and his company's still going, Blackstone Labs. Ronnie Alves, Brazil, Ramondino, top 1. No meu palpite? I'm sorry, I don't speak Portuguese. Spanish, crappy. I speak some crappy Spanish. Like the level of a 4-year-old child. Megawatt Fitness, Ron, does it matter what time I do cardio when on contest prep? Faster or non-fasted, fast results? I used to. I would have told you fasted. I would have always told you fasted cardio because that's what we all believed. Now, I don't think it matters at all. I think it's calories in, calories out. Carbs in your stomach, not in your stomach. If you have carbs in your stomach, or if you do it on an empty stomach, more of the calories, a higher percentage of the calories you burn will be from fat, from body fat. But if you have carbs in your system, you can do really hard cardio and really get a good sweat going and breathe heavy. You'll burn more calories. So it's calories in, calories out. It doesn't matter when you do your cardio. You need to be in a calorie deficit. So the amount of food you eat plus the calories you burn, you have to be expending more calories than you're eating to lose fat. And it doesn't seem to matter. It's Lane Norton. He's really been one of the strongest proponents of getting rid of this myth that you have to do fasted cardio. That's so much more effective. There's so many studies now showing it doesn't really matter. Just do your cardio. Do your cardio whenever. And, it sucks because so many of us spent so many years waking up at like 4 a.m, dragging our ass to the gym, or maybe some of you had cardio equipment at home, hungry as hell, tired, doing cardio because we were told you have to do it early on an empty stomach to burn more fat. I don't think so. Okay, Travis Snap. Everybody's sleeping on Regan. No, I don't think everyone's sleeping on him. It's just Regan's never done much at this level. He's never done anything at this level before. At the Olympia, aside from the year he did Classic, he's not done well. Arnold, I don't think he's ever been an American Arnold. So this could be a big turning point for Regan. If he does very well here, which he could, I think people are going to be rating him a lot higher. But I've never even seen this version. I didn't go to Legion Sports. I wasn't at any of those overseas shows. I've never seen this Regan in person. I've only seen the flatter version of Regan a couple times. Like at that last Olympia, he was flat as a pancake. I was not impressed with Regan Grimes at that last Olympia at all. But then I saw him. I wasn't there, but I saw the stream from Legion, the pictures. I'm like, wow, he got so much fuller. Let's see. Bo True, I would say do it fasted cardio first thing in the morning. That's what we've been told. You're just repeating. So I've been telling people that for years, so I'm guilty. And I heard it from other people. It's just like one of those things that's been passed on. It doesn't seem to matter, though. I've done it. My last couple preps, my last year I prepped was 2013. I did 2 shows. I did no fasted cardio. I did all my cardio after my weight training, so I didn't have to go to the gym twice a day. I got just as ripped. Just as ripped. Lost exactly the same condition. Ripped glutes, all that. Did not do 1 minute of fasted cardio. Not one. So I don't think it. Personally, I found out for me, didn't matter. Didn't matter. Let's see. Derek Osland, the Derek Osland, or are you an imposter? So this is Weapon X IFBB Pro. Congratulations on your recent wedding to Anastasia. God bless you both. Hope you have a long, happy life together. What was your question? My man Ron, what's going on, brother? I hope I get to see you guys in Columbus. I want to congratulate you on the marriage. I don't want to go off on tangents, but marriage rates have been going way, way down. If you guys don't know this. So the people that can actually still make it work, foster these relationships and enter into these loving marriages that will hopefully last entire lives, God bless you, because there's not many left. It's just a hookup culture now. Don't get me started. Okay. But Derek, Weapon X, congrats. I look forward to seeing you soon. Yeah. Whoop, whoop. The lone powerlifter. Here we go. Another top 5. Finally, Brandon, Brett, Sampson, Steve, Bonac. Sampson, he's got you in the top 3. That's the highest I've seen anyone put Sampson so far, I think. Like I said, he's got a crazy, very good aesthetics, very good structure, shape, big dude. I think he's about 260 now. He was on Global Muscle, our show, MD Global Muscle, that Giles did. Giles filmed I think it was a chest workout with him, and you could see, yeah, he's looking pretty damn great. Bo True, you're 6'1" and you're 294. That's a lot of weight, dude. I mean, even if you're lean, I don't know how lean you are, but even if you are lean, it's just a lot of weight to carry. You know, I talk shit. I'm like around I'm a little over 220 right now, but obviously I'm not 6'1". At least I'm not 5'1". I'm down to 5'7.5". You will shrink, guys. You're all going to shrink. If you're in your 20s now and you're 6 foot, expect to be probably about 5'9" by the time you're in your 50s or 60, because your spine compresses and shit. Anyway, Regan is going to surprise everyone this weekend. Jorge Lopez. Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I can't wait to see Regan. I've never seen this Regan, and I know you've seen the pictures, man. I got in one in the thumbnail. He's looking crazy. So we'll see. I agree, the lone powerlifter. Nice. Thank you, Ron. Jay, what do you expect from Bon? What am I expecting from Bonac? He can do as well as second. I don't see him beating Brandon unless Brandon is a little off and Bonac is just looking nuts. If that happens, we could see it. But I think he could, Brett's going to look crazy too. I think it's going to be a very, very close battle for second. And it could very well be between Bonac and Brett Wilkin. I could see that being a really, really tight race between those two, pose for pose, and the judges just having a hell of a time trying to figure out what to do. Bo True, you're right, cardio doesn't really matter if you do enough amphetamines. No, I didn't say that. I said it doesn't matter when you do your cardio. I'm very much against this whole relying on drugs to burn fat. I've used Clan, I've used T3 in the past, but I never relied on them, meaning I used them, so I guess I did rely on them. But I still did my cardio. I still dieted. I talked to guys, young guys, who are prepping for shows, and they don't want to do any cardio. They say, how much DNP should I use? They want to find drugs so they don't have to do cardio. I know cardio sucks. We didn't sign up for cardio when we became bodybuilders. We just want to get jacked and pump weights. We didn't want to sit on a bike or a treadmill or a elliptical or, the step mill is the worst. I hate that thing. But you got to do some cardio, guys. Thomas McDonald, yeah, I do the cardio bike after I work out at home gym system. Yeah, I actually have a really good, like $2,000 bike that my wife bought right before the pandemic. And I was so angry that she spent all that money on a bike. Like, what do we need that for? We have gym memberships. And then the gym shut down. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess it's coming in handy now. Anyway, yeah, I think is it Rogue that makes it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Bo Chu, good stuff. God bless. Happy Hanukkah. Hanukkah was back in December. Come on now. I don't think there's no Jewish holidays going on right now in March, right? Is Chinese New Year coming up soon, maybe? I don't know. Brett. Okay, Sanita FL. Brandon Kuklo. That's bold. That's another person with Brett winning. Wow. Rindeland, the Raw. I almost went to compete, but had a head injury instead. Oh, yikes. Derek, thank you, brother. Yes, me, not an imposter. This weekend was beautiful. It was awesome. Having so many people from so many different phases of my life together in one spot. Yeah, Derek. I mean, the wedding day, I still remember mine. I was 21 years old. My wife was 20. We had a nice church wedding because it was a nice big Catholic church, but we had no money. No money. We had a little reception afterwards in like a little VFW hall. It was so ghetto. I rapped. I went up anyway. But it was great memories. And that was 30. What year are we in now, guys? Does anybody know? It was over 30 years ago. Chris Minier, Brandon, Brett, Bonak, Steve, Justin. Okay. Another one. Have I seen Rolly's downsizing, retirement on the way? I don't know if Rolly's retiring. He had a great run. He was one of the biggest, freakiest bodybuilders of all time. He's getting older. I think for health purposes, I don't know I don't know why he's downsized. I have no idea. Everyone's just speculating. If it's for health purposes, good for him. Good for him. He's like 44 years old at this point. He's got kids. I think he's got like 3 kids. That's the responsible thing to do, is to not walk around at 5'7" and 280 all year. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. So for him to downsize and get healthier, hats off to him. Hats off. Good for him. Brett is the real deal of this AC. Well, he's very good. Derek Austin, I'll be doing New York Pro again, so I'm sure I'll see you there. Yeah, that's May 18th, I believe. I think it's back in New York, thank God. I mean, it was okay to have it in Tampa, but New York Pro in Tampa, Chicago Pro in Atlanta? No, come on, guys. New York Pro needs to be New York. I remember when it was in Manhattan. Those were the days. Whew. Yeah. Rindlin, the Raw. I need a strong man. What? Is this a woman? Oh, you're a woman, but it doesn't matter. Half of these people saying they're women, they're just dudes pretending to be women anyway. You're catfishers. Maybe you are a woman. I don't know. I need a strong man I can feed and compare nothing but want to love me. Well, definitely not from the U.S., because U.S. women don't want to feed anybody. Trust me. They're just like, what can you do for me? They don't want to be domestic anymore. They want to be like men. Chris Minier would be badass if Brett won. Oh, yeah. How cool would that be? I mean, if Brett wins this, dude, he'll be like a favorite for the Olympia. It'll be like, who's going to win the Olympia? Brett, Nick Walker, or Big Ramy? It'll be down to that. I know Hottie's still in the conversation, of course. But yeah, it would be pretty cool. Just busting balls. Passover's coming. Oh yeah, you're right. Passover's a holiday. That's it's always around Easter time. Derek, and not to stay on the cardio train, but both Ronnie and Jay said numerous times they did 2+ hours of cardio almost every Olympia prep, and Jay said he's done 2.5 to 3 hours a couple times. Yeah. If you can get ripped without cardio, you are a rare creature. Very rare. Unless you're going to slam a bunch of DNP, in which case you're doing this. You got 3 rounds in the chamber and you just keep pulling the trigger and you're just hoping you don't come up on a round. You're playing Russian roulette when you're taking DNP. Sanita, everyone start from some point. Brett starts from here and he'll crack for victory. Derek Awesome, people are just lazy. 100%. 100%. I had people ask me about steroids in their DMs. I look at their pictures on their Instagram. I'm like, oh my God, this guy looks like he's never even touched a weight. He doesn't look anywhere near as good as like someone who's been naturally bodybuilding for a year or two. And he's asking about steroids. Oh my God. Ugh, it's horrible. Let's see. Another one. Personnel HD. Curry, Brett, Bonak, Justin Rodriguez, Kuklo. Yeah. Okay. Bochu, Rindle in the Raw is a bot and a guy. Well, I figured she was a guy. If someone wants to take me, I'll go watch. I don't know about you guys. I don't get catfish because I don't fall for it, but every day on Facebook, Instagram, it's always a picture of the Facebook profiles of these catfish people are hilarious because it's like one picture. There's like real hot girls have tons of pictures, tons. They don't have like one. And then you look at like the check-ins, it's always like some weird place in, I don't know, Malaysia or I don't know. Somewhere where they're pretending to be some hot American girl, and it's just some dude from, another country. Nick says Jason Genoa for the entire top 5. Oh, he did have Brandon Curry in 4th. Laura, we know you're a guy, bro, dude. All right, guys, we've had a lot of fun here today. But thank you so much for watching. We're going to find out the real top 5 not until Saturday night. But we'll be doing full coverage. Like I said, I'll be up front. We do a play-by-play on the musculardevelopment.com on the No Bull forum. It's a thread called 2022 Arnold Classic Play-by-Play. Check it out because I'll be uploading pictures instantly. We'll have a contest gallery with the Jason Breeze high-resolution pictures. A couple hours after he takes them, those will get uploaded. Do you feel that the show has been watered down badly with the dropouts? Smash the like. Yeah, smash the like. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Appreciate you watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, all that good stuff. Comments are important, apparently. So anyway, guys, I will be in Columbus starting Thursday night at the meet and greet, doing some athlete interviews. Friday, Saturday is all judging and finals for a ton of divisions. It's going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to it. Been to a lot of these, and they're always a good time. Always a great show, the Arnold Classic. So thanks for watching, guys. See you.